Most people on the planet like to learn methods and tricks to attract the opposite sex. It may be a difficult task for some people, and they think to themselves that if they don't have inherent charm, then they can't attract people to them. But we are telling you that confidence is universally attractive, and you should learn ways to look confident and attractive. Stay with us to get to know some tricks to attract the opposite sex that work immediately and strongly. The first method, charm. Be brave to attract the opposite sex. There are many shy people in the world, but those who are confident and comfortable are rare. Don't be afraid to step forward and show yourself this way. Start flirting, speak clearly and confidently, and let the other person know you are interested. You don't need to be extremely handsome and genius to be a good charmer. All it takes is self-confidence, a little courage, and a sense of cuteness and need. It will be impossible to resist you. 2. Break the ice to succeed in attracting the opposite sex. What is the scariest part of dating? Approaching a person. It's hard to feel confident and attractive when your palms are sweaty and you are searching for something clever to say to an attractive person. But breaking the ice doesn't have to be overly complicated. Be self-possessed, use open body language, and friendly, non-threatening body language. Start a conversation with an initial question or comment. Try to analyze the person before making the first move to get an idea of his humor and attitude. If you see a person looking boredly at the drunk host of a party he's attending, go up to him and calmly say, "This party is boring. I want to make an escape plan. Are you coming too?" The ice will be broken. Don't think too much to start your courtship off on a high note. Introducing yourself and asking her name, as well as asking a very general question like, "What brings you here?" or "How are you having a good night?" is a perfectly reasonable way to break the ice. You don't have to be Shakespeare. Avoid elder sentences. Ridiculous one-liners designed to break the ice often end up making people completely sick of you. These sentences make you look frivolous, immature, and general. When trying to attract the opposite sex, never go for silly jokes. 3. Make eye contact. Don't look at the ground or behind her or at the ceiling when you are trying to flirt. Look directly into his eyes. Maintaining eye contact with a person conveys a sense of intimacy and trust, and it's the easiest thing you can do to be a professional charmer. 4. Speak clearly to attract the opposite sex. When courting, speak loud enough so that the other person does not have to struggle to hear your voice. Pronounce the words clearly and try not to be slurred. Be calm and speak carefully. Don't rush your words. If you need a moment to catch your breath to think about what you want to say, do it. Buy yourself some time by maintaining eye contact and smiling. In this case, the worst thing that happens to the other party is that an attractive and confident person smiles at them and cannot speak. Let me tell you, you will probably make his day. Attracting the opposite sex. Number 5. Don't forget to listen. In order for your courtship to go well, you must observe 2 points. Present yourself as an interesting and attractive person who is worth getting to know, and find out if the other person is worth getting to know or not. If you are a good and compassionate listener who is genuinely curious and interested in the other person, you can increase your attractiveness. Practice good listening, paying attention, and responding appropriately. Don't try to be better than him in everything. Suppose he carefully tells you a story that he easily caught a bat in the house and carried it outside. It's not interesting at all to answer that you used to catch hundreds of bats in your house as a child, and this is very easy. It's not a competition. Be sympathetic to him. Don't show off. Number 6. Find a getaway in each sentence to move the conversation forward. If you're struggling to find something to say to the other person, Ask them questions and try to find the next gate in the conversation. Imagine you are looking for doors in a hallway that you can use to enter a room of other subjects. If someone says, "I just graduated," you must be tempted to ask, "What major did you study?" But if they say laboratory particle physics with a Latin orientation, you have no clue. Instead, ask more general questions, such as how was college or what do you want to do with your degree. Get to know the person on a more sophisticated level. Your questions may be beyond the limits. Be sure to pay enough attention to the person's answers and his body language to make sure that you have not invaded his privacy. Don't bother people. If the other party changes the conversation or seems to be looking for an escape route, or give one word or short answers, cut the conversation short and leave him alone. Attract the opposite sex. Number 7. Focus on common interests. When entering into a heartwarming conversation, resist the temptation to start telling your life story. Start complaining about something or talk about the scary concepts and ideas. If you are talking about yourself, make it interesting. The trivial details of your day are not as interesting and engaging as other topics of conversation. Think about what makes you unique and hint at it in subtle ways without overdoing it. Gentlemen, don't think of yourself as the superior sex. Assuming other people are ignorant and over-explaining everything as if you are dealing with a child is not attractive at all. Maybe the woman you are patiently explaining to her about Tesla has a doctorate in history and now wishes for your death in her heart. Number 8. To attract the opposite sex, approach him carefully. A gentle and friendly touch, if done at the right time, can take your attraction to the next level and be very effective in attracting the opposite sex. But if you don't do it right and on time, you may look like a droopy person with eyes full of deception. Be mindful of your behavior and always try to touch neutral areas, such as the arm, hand, or shoulder. In general, men should not touch the person they want to love. This often seems too rude. In such a situation, women should be in a position of power, but men can convey their interest with a gentle pressure on the shoulder and a touch of the hand or arm. Attraction of the opposite sex. Number 9. Don't be too available. People like rare and pure things, and lack of supply increases demand. If you want to stay in his mind, you have to keep him thirsty. If the meeting goes on too long, you may run out of words and have nothing to say, and the topics may become unpleasant and boring. Instead, quickly find a way to leave and ask him to have each other's contact number. Then make a firm appointment to hang out sometimes. Be completely honest so as not to complicate the charm. You don't have to come up with an elaborate excuse for why you are leaving. Just say, "I want to go back to my friends, but I'll probably be thinking about your eyes all night. Can I give you my number? I'd like to have dinner together sometimes."